All right, welcome everyone. If you're a Python developer, you've almost certainly been here before. You're spinning up a new project and you need a database, but you really don't want the hassle of setting up a whole separate server. Well, today we're looking at a really powerful tool that might just be the perfect answer. And just so you know, this is an official video overview, right from the creators, the INEX team. We're putting this together for all you developers out there who, you just want to see the tool in action. No fluff, no marketing speak, just a step-by-step look at how it actually works, right from the very first line of code. So, let's start with a question that I'm sure hits close to home for a lot of us. You're kicking off a new project, you need to store data, but do you really want all the overhead, the setup, the configuration, the maintenance of a full-blown database server, especially for a small or medium-sized app? Probably not. And that is exactly where the INEX JSON Database, or IJD, comes into play. It's designed for that exact scenario. The best way to think about it is it's a professional, truly project-grade library that gives you this awesome SQL-like way to manage your data, all of which is just JSON, but, and this is the kicker, without any of the usual database headaches. So when you put all these pieces together, it's pretty compelling, right? You get the power of what feels like a real database with a super simple interface and native JSON handling. But it's all just 100% Python, living right there inside your project. The most important point, the one to really remember, no separate database server to install, configure, or worry about, ever. So here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to walk through this in 4 simple parts. First, we'll create a database from absolute scratch. Then we'll show you how to actually work with the data. After that, we'll peek at some of the more advanced tools. And finally, we'll think about how this could fit into your next project. Okay, let's dive into part 1, your first database. And that subtitle isn't a joke. We're going to see just how fast you can go from a totally empty project folder to a real functioning database. It's really just a simple 3-step process to get everything up and running. We'll install the library, we'll define a table, and then we'll pop in our very first piece of data. Let's do it. First things first, a standard pip install. That's it. That's all it takes to get the IJD library into your Python environment. Super simple, super familiar. Okay, with the library installed, you just import create table. Now, look how clean this is. You just give your table a name, we'll call it users, and then you pass a simple list of strings for your column names. That's it. That's your entire schema definition right there in one line. And the second you run that, boom, you get this confirmation. Now, what's happening in the background is that IJD has already built the JSON file structure it needs. You didn't have to create all the files, you didn't have to make any folders, it just handled it for you. All right, let's put some data in our new table. We import insert table data. And maybe the best part about this whole thing is that you just pass in a standard Python dictionary. There's no special object formatting, no weird data types to wrestle with. It's just the data structure you already use all day, every day. You run that one line, and just like that, the data is in. Seriously, from installation to our first record, that was what? 3 commands? A few incredibly readable lines of code. It's just such a clean and satisfying workflow. Okay, so we have a database with some data in it. That's great, but how do we actually interact with it? Let's move on and look at the core CRUD operations. Create, read, update, and delete. So to find data, which is our read operation, we use search table data. And again, just notice the beautiful simplicity here. Your query is just another dictionary. We want to find a user whose name is Alice, so we just pass in a dictionary that says exactly that. It's so wonderfully intuitive. And here's what you get back: a clean, structured list of all the matching records. This format is just perfect for looping over in your code or maybe even sending straight to a front-end framework. It's exactly what you'd hope for. Now, this is something I really appreciate: the consistency. Updating and deleting data follow the exact same logic. To update a record, you just provide the new data and the record's index. To delete one, you just need that index. The function names are predictable, the parameters make sense. It just makes the whole library so much easier to learn and use without constantly checking the docs. So, we've covered the basics, but IJD packs a lot more punch. It comes with some really powerful utilities for managing your data more effectively. So, let's take a look at how you can unlock some of that extra power. And this is where you can see that IJD is way more than just a simple key value store. You get a whole suite of really useful tools. You've got functions for doing data analysis, like aggregate. You have tools for data management, like backup, merge, and sort. And you even get utilities to help ensure your data quality, like validate. Let's just quickly look at one of these to see how it works. Aggregate table data. This function is fantastic for doing quick analytics. So imagine you have an orders table. With just one line of code, you could instantly get key statistics on, say, the total column for all your orders. And this is what it gives you back. A simple, clean dictionary with the key stats all calculated for you. So with that one function call on our orders table, we now know our total revenue, the total number of transactions, and the average order value. You can immediately see how incredibly useful this would be for building, say, a quick analytics dashboard. Okay, so after seeing all of this in action, what's the big takeaway here? What does this actually mean for you and for that next project you're thinking about starting? Well, when it comes down to it, I think choosing IJD is all about the perfect balance it strikes. On one hand, you get this amazing simplicity, an intuitive API that lets you get up and running in literally minutes. But you're not sacrificing real power. You still get those SQL-like functions, you get the flexibility of managing JSON data without a database server, and you get the confidence that it's a professional, project-grade tool built for real-world applications. Look, IJD isn't trying to replace massive databases like Postgre or MySQL. It was never designed for that. It's designed to elegantly solve a very specific and very common problem that tons of us developers face all the time: the need for simple, powerful, and totally serverless data storage. So the question we want to leave you with is this. Think about that little side project or that internal tool or that prototype you've been wanting to build. How could a tool like IJD simplify it for you?